Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, there is no denying haunted houses are creepy. Over the years, more and more stories have emerged regarding the terror within the walls of these 10 homes. Which of these haunted dwellings gets our nod for the number 1 scariest in the world? Let's find out as we reveal our top 10 haunted homes. Number 10, Drish House. Feel free to light up our comment section like the ghostly flame that haunts our number 10 on the list of most haunted homes. The Drish House in Tuscaloosa, Alabama was built in 1837, but the real mystery began in 1867. After John and Sarah Drish moved in, John threw himself off the balcony one night in a drunken state, landing head on the stairs below. He left specific instructions for his burial. Sarah was filled with grief and saved the candles from John's wake. She listed her own set of instructions to use those same candles at her funeral years later. The instructions were ignored since no one could find the candles. After Sarah's death, townspeople began seeing a fire burning in the front tower of the Drish House on random nights. Calls were made to responders, but when they arrived, the fire would be gone. Talk about carrying a candle for your old flame. The haunted flame of the Drish House is number 10 on our list. Number 9, the Little Castle of Apus Street. They say a man's home is his castle, and that's never been truer than number 9 on our list. A 100-year-old mansion in Brazil was built to emulate the look of a castle. Filled with murder, suicide, and mystery, the Little Castle of Apus Street is number 9 on our list. Built by Dr. Virgilio Cesar dos Reis in 1912, this mansion would see difficult times. After 25 years in his home, Dr. Virgilio passed away, leaving his 2 sons to argue over the inheritance of the family business. Just months after the patriarch's death, the housekeeper entered the little castle to find the 2 sons and Dr. Virgilio's wife in a pool of blood. The case was ruled a murder-suicide, but the crime scene clues were sketchy. The government seized the property, and for years the townsfolk said they heard screams every year on the anniversary of the bloodshed. Years later, a Brazilian horror film director accidentally died on location filming at the Little Castle. The Little Castle of Apus Street screams to be number 9 on our list. Number 8, Whaley House. We're glad you hung around for number 8 on our list. It comes with a life hack. Never build a home on top of a field previously used for hangings. The number 8 haunted home is the Whaley House located in historic Old Town, San Diego. The home was built by Thomas Whaley. He bought the property a few years after witnessing the hanging of local criminal James Yankee Jim Robinson over the same field. Location, location, location. I bet you can't guess what happened when Thomas Whaley moved his family into the newly built home in 1857. That's right, the haunting began. The family immediately heard heavy footsteps plodding along nightly. Thomas described the sound as large boots of a large man, which he believed to be Yankee Jim. But what legitimate number 8 haunted home wouldn't feature more death? The Whaley's infant son died at 18 months old in the home. Many years later, Whaley's daughter realized she had married a con man and decided to kill herself. Of course, she just had to pick the Whaley homestead to commit the act. After all, there's no better place to kill yourself with your father's gun than your own family's haunted house. To add to the lore of this fabled home, a 2012 movie entitled The Haunting of Whaley House was produced. Regular visitors to the Whaley House claim to have seen Thomas, his wife Anna, and even their dog Dolly. That's an all-in-the-family type of haunting if we've ever seen one. The Whaley House was twice voted the number 1 haunted house in America. It appears in all its horror as number 8 on our list. Number 7, Beauregard Sky's House. If you fill your home with creepy old dolls, you get voted number 7 on our list. The Beauregard Sky's House is a 200-year-old home in New Orleans. It has many old dolls on display that watch you as you tour the halls of horror. The home had many different types of owners through the years, from a slave auctioneer to a Confederate general, and even a mafia family. Guests report hearing battle sounds and smells from the Civil War, along with the ghostly sounds of a piano at a party. People also report seeing and even speaking to Confederate soldier ghosts who were still in their tattered gray uniforms. We're not sure how lonely you have to be to strike up a conversation with a ghost soldier, but to each their own. As if the house needed more death, in 1908, 4 mob members were shot inside the home after a meeting turned deadly. Creepy dolls, ghastly soldiers, and mafia apparitions make it a hit at number 7 on our list. Number 6, the Riddle House. If you are looking to purchase a starter home, don't buy an old funeral parlor. Our number 6 haunted home is the Riddle House, built in 1905 in West Palm Beach, Florida. We aren't sure if the real estate listing detailed the home as a previously haunted mortuary, but it probably wasn't a selling point. In 1920, Carl Riddle ignored the scary stories and purchased his new family home. Carl maintained the cemetery business next to the house. One night, an upset cemetery groundskeeper snuck in the home, climbed to the attic, and hung himself from the rafters. Carl was shaken by the event, but hired new hands to help in the cemetery. Those new hires were spooked by the appearance of ghosts along with the sounds of dragging chains and murmuring voices. Years later, in 1995, Carl's brother saved the old home by moving it piece by piece to a new location to be rebuilt. But Carl's brother found out that you can take the house out of the haunting, but you can't take the haunting out of the house. Even in its new spot, construction workers reported strange things happening. Ladders moved on their own, windows shattered unexpectedly, and tools were thrown from upper levels of the home. Tourists claim to see a torso hanging from the attic window to this day. We won't dare move the Riddle House from number 6 on our list. Number 5, the Rocky Hill Castle. A haunted home with real photographic evidence flashes onto our list at number 5. The Rocky Hill Castle in Alabama was built in 1861 with the help of a French architect. The story goes that the architect died before getting paid. For years, people reported hearing frightening hammer sounds echoing from the basement. The ghost of the French architect was chipping away at the foundation of the home in anger. Later owners claimed they called out the spirits in anger one night, yelling, "Speak up or hold your peace." The owners say the ghost whispered in their ear, "I'm right here, madam." They packed their bags and immediately moved out. All these stories and more are quite compelling, yet the ultimate scare is the tangible evidence. In 1935, a photographer captured an image on a wall in the home that clearly shows the face of a man. This photo proves the Rocky Hill Castle deserves to be number 5 on our list. Number 4, the Monte Cristo Homestead. Say you and your significant other are looking for a unique romantic getaway. Do not book a night at number 4 on our list of haunted homes. The Monte Cristo Homestead is located down under in Australia. The homestead is reportedly haunted by the ghosts of Christopher and Elizabeth Crawley, who died in 1910 and 1933 respectively. The house has a history of horror, including a maid's suicide, a caretaker shot to death, a stable boy burned to death, and a baby thrown down a flight of stairs. That's not all it offers vacationers. There's unexplained animal mutilations and the ghost of a man chained in a shed for 40 years as well. Subsequent owners report hearing footsteps, feeling a hand on their shoulder, and seeing the house illuminated with no electricity present. Currently, the Monte Cristo Homestead is functioning as a bed and breakfast for those brave souls who dare. This unhappy haunt may not be in your travel agent's top 10, but it's our number 4. Number 3, Bala Roy Mansion. You better sit down for number 3 on our list. Just don't sit in the death chair. Number 3 on our list is the Bala Roy Mansion, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Built in 1911 by a carpenter who allegedly murdered his wife inside the home. In 1926, the Easby family purchased the 32-room mansion. The horror continued when a few housekeepers died on the premises. Paintings would randomly fly off the walls, and people reported seeing an old woman with a cane, dressed in black, roaming the halls. Some have claimed to see the ghost of Thomas Jefferson in this home that was once voted most haunted home in America. None of these haunts compares to the 200-year-old chair located in the drawing room. The death chair, as it has been dubbed, was reportedly owned by Napoleon. The Easbys would advise people to avoid sitting in the chair, but the ghost known as Amanda would beckon visitors to sit. 3 people died just weeks after sitting in the death chair. When you've got furniture that can kill someone, you get seated at number 3 on our list. Number 2, Mud House Mansion. Don't destroy our comment section just yet. Haunted home number 2 on our list became so famous, the owner decided to destroy the home in 2015. The number 2 haunted home on our list is the Mud House Mansion. Built in the late 1800s in Lancaster, Ohio, the mansion is home to a few disturbing stories. The most terrifying tale involved a family that moved into the mansion years after the original owners. Once the neighbors witnessed the family move in, they never saw them out and about. Many days went by before the police were called out to the house by a concerned community member. When the police entered, they found the entire family dressed totally in white, hanging from the ceiling. If that scene doesn't give you nightmares, the number 2 home is also rumored to be the location of a murder. A disgruntled slave snuck up on his master one night and killed him. Suicide and murder are a surefire recipe for hauntings. To top it all off, the Myrtles Mansion is reportedly the original home of Bloody Mary, the famous urban legend that has lived in mirrors across the world as a frightful children's dare. A haunted home of nightmarish proportions, the Myrtles Mansion's tales will surely cause you many sleepless nights. Number 1. Myrtles Plantation. If you've been waiting for a house with a terrifying little girl ghost built on an Indian burial ground, the wait is over. Number 1 on our list is Myrtles Plantation, built in Louisiana in 1796. The terror kicks in when a couple and their 3 children move in. Only one child would survive. The story goes that a slave girl named Chloe poisoned 2 of her family's children. Chloe was hanged by her fellow slaves after they feared they'd all be killed for knowing the truth. She is famous as the Ghost Girl from multiple photos that contain her image. These photos have been rigorously studied and have shown no doctoring of the image. To top it all off, in the late 1900s, an attorney was shot in front of the home. He dragged his dying body inside, crawling to the 17th step, his final resting place. Visitors claim to hear the sound of his ghost dragging his body to the step even to this day. Our number 1 haunted home, Myrtles Plantation, presently functions as a bed and breakfast with a creepy staircase and amazing photo ops. We've reached our final destination on our list of the top 10 haunted homes. We're certain the next time things go bump in the night, you'll think about these 10 hallowed haunts. Sweet dreams.